pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Whew. Take a breath, Mr. Donovic. All right. This meeting sets the agenda for the 2031 regular meeting, which is a voting meeting that will take place on Wednesday, December 17th, where tonight's items will be officially voted on. This will be our last council meeting of the year. So, I know. We have one council absence tonight. Council member Scott Morgan is still not with us. Tonight, the council has set aside 30 minutes for audience communication for items not on the study agenda. Do we have any audience communication? Mr. Donovic will take the time.
Is that okay with you? Fine.
Jim Biggett, Northwest Livonia. Quick question regarding how different matters are dealt with regarding civil service and whatnot. I know there's a Civil Service Commission, and I haven't heard many mention about the Civil Service Commission meeting regarding a lot of issues regarding personnel, salaries, changing ordinances and whatnot. Does that ever get reported out when we hear it here in the council meetings? And that's a message that one day hopefully gets discussed when these things come up, but I would just like to know how we're dealing with the Civil Service Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience? Good evening.
Steve King, Coventry Gardens. Carrie mentioned the holiday party at the new senior center. The trays used at the party they used to serve food on had a sticker on the bottom, not to be used with food. So I'm sorry nobody caught that before they brought the food out. Someone sent me a picture of it. I probably won't be here at the last meeting. I was hoping to address Scott, but he's not here. So this is my last shot at you guys. Because you guys are going away. It's going to be a new council.
We're still here.
So you guys will have great memories of how you performed as a team, but I'm just going to talk to you about some of the misses. $12,000 hot water heaters for a 600 square foot senior residence. Tens of thousands spent on an executive search for a library director. Purchasing a bulldozer for a single job instead of renting. More city trucks than employees to drive them, increasing long-term maintenance and storage costs. Hundreds of thousands spent on a trailer-mounted AC unit for the Civic Center Library. Proposed $217 million government complex redevelopment with unclear taxpayer return. Failed $150 million Livonia-built bond proposal, bundling essential and non-essential projects. Library capital projects, $600,000 for a chiller, $1.1 million for the elevator, $2 million for interior renovations. Costly feasibility studies and master plans that are never implemented. Overbuying specialty vehicles or equipment rarely used by the city staff because of the magic words, budgeted funds. Long-term software contracts with underused features or duplication, consultant retainer fees with minimal deliverables, overbuilt or unnecessary park amenities requiring continuous upkeep, excessive overtime due to staffing mismanagement, road projects needing redo because of contractor quality issues, outsourcing simple maintenance tasks at high contractor rates, long-term rentals of temporary equipment instead of maintaining city-owned units, financial misuse risk because of temporary financial people. Poor grant oversight leading to lost reimbursements and wasted opportunities, prioritizing flashy capital projects over essential infrastructure maintenance. Livonia residents deserve efficient budgeting, accountability, and transparent spending practices, and I, for one, am looking forward to the new council. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more audience communication? Seeing none, we're going to move on to new business. Item number 1, determination of the local sorry, I didn't really see your hand. Go ahead, Mr. Donovic. I apologize.
Thanks, Madam Vice President. Earlier in the night, I was reluctant to say anything, but I just wanted to mention, because I've had the pleasure of sitting next to Councilwoman Laura Toy, and there was a comment made about her eating. And I sit next to her, and from time to time, I get to see her watch go off or her app on her phone go off, talking about her diabetes. and the fact that she has low blood sugar or whatever things happen there. And when I was a kid, I was at Johnson Elementary. I was lucky enough to take a friend of mine, not going to mention his name. I was a little kid at Johnson, and I'd get to take him to the nurse's office in the office because he'd go get his blood checked and do the different things that he would do with his diabetes. And here I am years later hanging out with my friend and colleague, Councilman Toy, and it stinks to watch her be berated by a person that's attacked her for years because from time to time she has to eat something because her blood sugar's low and she's got a medical condition. So to set the record straight, I understand people have various medical conditions, and you can eat next to me anytime you want because I don't feel like giving you CPR if you fall over next to me. So thanks, Council Vice President.
Thank you. Councilmember Budzinski.
Yes, just in reference to Civil Service Commission meetings, they are listed on the city website. We have a list of all of our commissions, and most of them have their calendar meeting dates. So the Civil Service Commission meets on December 17th, January 21st, and February 18th. So, just that.
And the minutes are posted.
Yes, and well, I also know if some are, our minutes aren't necessarily always posted up to date for all of our commissions. So, but let me confirm real quickly here. They are. So good job to the Civil Service Commission and whoever puts it in Civic Clerk. Those minutes are posted in real time. So.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else from council, since I was quick on the draw? All right, now we will move to new business. Number 1, determination of the Local Officers Compensation Commission. This comes to us, the Office of the City Clerk, regarding the salaries of elected officials for the calendar year 2026 and calendar year 2027, in accordance with Section 2.48.030 of Chapter 2.48 of the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended. Council.
We have someone from.
Go ahead.
Good
Would you like to
evening,
speak?
Doris DeMarco, Deputy Clerk. Our office takes care of doing the minutes for the Local Officers Compensation Commission. So the meeting that was held Monday, November 10th, 2025, you'll find those minutes in your packet. They took the mayor's recommendation under consideration, much discussion was had that night, and they applied it to all the elected positions. We bring it to you now for your consideration. I'll be happy to answer any questions council has.
Thank you. Mrs. Shield.
Thank you, President, or Acting President, Vice President. So, as many of you know who have paid attention to the finance and budget meetings that have come up, I am not in support of any increases for our elected officials this year. We have a tight budget that we're running for this year. There was talk of possibly laying off a couple people that work in an department. We were able to save their positions this year, but in saving those positions, there was a statement made that would be looked at again next year. And like I said, we have a tight budget. So I am not in favor of moving forward with any increases for our elected officials, and I would like to offer a denying motion for this at this time.
Okay, so we have a denying motion. Mr. McCullough.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I too echo, during our budget process, anytime that you see people being let go, it can't, in my opinion, couldn't constitute any kind of an increase. To even echo Councilwoman Shield, at that budget meeting, she did bring up the fact that we should have a hiring freeze and a salary freeze overall. And that is something, listen, we've got people that put food on their table. And these are family members. These aren't just people that are numbers on a spreadsheet. And so we're very valuable to have these people. We're very fortunate to have these people. And I totally agree. Some kind of an increase should go to maintaining the people that currently work here. So thank you for that, and I appreciate that motion. I'll be supporting the denying.
Thank you. Mr. Donovic.
Thanks, Madam Vice President. I understand, for people that don't know, Local Officers Compensation Commission, they're doing their job. They go out there in the community, they do research, they do comparables, and it's their job to present the facts. And the facts are that these positions do warrant an increase, 3.5% for the first year, 4.5% the next year. So I appreciate their work, and I appreciate their due diligence, and I appreciate the level of detail that this commission goes through, and respect that. At the same time, the city is in financial hardship because we collect so little city taxes, which is a good thing. That is what every city should strive for, is to be the lowest city taxed city in all of Wayne County, and that's a good thing. With that comes restrictions. It's hard to pay for things. Things are getting more expensive. Buildings are falling apart. And the city has to figure out how to pay for these things. Additionally, we have amazing department heads that work so hard, and they go through a lot, and I bet there's some interesting data out there for our department heads in comparison to other municipalities. So we're trying to attract and retain our department heads and our city employees that dedicate so much time and effort to the city, and there are a lot of city employees that deserve increases, especially the list goes on of our city staff that deserve raises. So until they can start getting raises, I think the elected officials, again, even though they're warranted for those, because elected officials do a lot of hard work in the city, and these are modest increases, we need to figure out how to give increases to our city staff first, and then that momentum can carry to our elected officials. Because again, elected officials deserve to be paid. We want to attract the best people. And these are part-time jobs, and it takes a significant amount of time away from your family. We have people that have big families, small families, full-time jobs, businesses. You really go through a lot, and it's a good thing. But our staff work exceptionally hard, and our police department, our firefighters, DPW, Parks and Rec, library staff, the list goes on of folks in the city, building department, ordinance officers, I can go on. So, reluctantly, I wish we could give people raises, but until these city officials, these city employees can see those raises, I just don't think it's the necessary appropriate time for elected, so.
So I just wanted to piggyback on what Rob said. So 7 of them are part-time jobs, 3 of them are full-time jobs, the mayor, the clerk, and the treasurer. So I just wanted to make
Thank you,
sure
Council
that's-
Vice President, thank you.
Councilmember Toy.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. If I may, to Mr. Marco. Mr. Marco, do you recall, so that the viewing audience can understand this, how, is this reevaluated every year?
Not every year.
Okay.
It is 2 years.
Every 2 years, they're up for increased possible compensation then on their salaries.
There is discussion.
Okay. Is there any compensation for other than their salaries, do we know?
We happen to have a representative from the LOCC.
No, do we? Okay, great, great. Thank you, Mr. Marco.
So I believe Mr. Long is the current chair, if I'm not mistaken, so.
Glenn Long, representing the LOCC, so 33,000 Civic Center Drive. The question was whether or not there are other forms of compensation.
Right.
So we're tasked with looking at the salaries.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, the city has its benefit schedule that is discussed, but that's not something that we offer input on. The commission fully understands that it's a recommending body, and what we do is, as Mr. Donovic said, we go through the information, we go through the comparables, and we look and we do the math, and we come forward with this. I have been the chair of this commission for longer than I can remember how many years, and sometimes council votes it up, and sometimes council votes it down, and that's what you're here to do. So, we fully understand that. We presented the numbers to you after doing our research, but the decision ultimately lies with you.
Well, appreciate the job you do, no problem. But when I'm looking at salaries and things like that, I'm also looking at fringes and benefits that, when I worked in Lansing, I had to pay for parking every day, and that was my choice as an elected official. But there is certain things, I know some of these folks get cars, and some of them, have other kinds of venues of things, and I don't begrudge them, but every other year, when I'm hearing now the city's in financial problems here and there, troubles me, Mr. Long, and your compensation commission is appointed by the mayor of the city, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and how many of there are you, for the record?
I believe the commission, when fully staffed, is at
Yes, sir.
7.
7?
We have 5 members currently on the commission. There's a couple vacancies.
Okay, so there's 2 vacancies, so you do have an odd number for a vote.
Yes.
Was it unanimous, sir?
There was a quorum of 3 of the 5, and it was a 3-0 vote, yes.
3-0 vote out of 7 people then, or
No,
5
out of
people
5
as it
people.
is. Okay, I appreciate that. I just wanted to get that out so that we all kind of understand, you know, where you guys are coming from at times. I appreciate the fact that you're giving and suggesting to give increases, but we've got to evaluate the bigger picture, I think, like my 2 other colleagues suggested, and so we're a little sensitive to that at least. So I just wanted to share that with you,
Sure.
sir. But thank you for your hard work.
No problem.
Thank you,
And, you know,
Mr.
just to jump in on the end of that, you know, and we don't see the whole budget, right? So that's, again, we understand. That's
And that
what, you're
troubles
there
me
to
too.
do. So.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from council? All right, we'll go to the audience. Do I have any audience comments?
Yes. Christopher Martin, great state of Michigan. I have a few questions here. I would like to hear it. The guy has sat down already. Well, I'm going to go through the acting president here. I got some questions for whoever wants to get back up to the podium over there. Is that you had mentioned, one of you, who these raises were for or whatever. Specifically, when it says all elected officials, what officials? Do they all get what percentage per year for the 2 years? Was there anything else that goes with it? That was a good question, because I know some get a gas card besides a car. These are questions that should be raised. Here's another thing, too, and I've seen this many times over the years. Council sometimes doesn't vote on this, either a yes or a no. And here's how the game's played for those out in TV land, and some that might not know, even on council, how this game is played. In years past, the city attorney would say, well, this is a receive and file. And it was accepted, and it was put in, no, don't shake your head, Rob, this is the way it worked. Receive and file, and it would, I sit there and laugh. It was receive and file, and it would automatically take effect without the council voting yes or no for the raises whatsoever. Receive and file. Now, if Mr. Carter disagrees with me, I'm going to give him the opportunity to do that right here and now, because those of you that are up there laughing at me, I've stood at this podium and sat in the audience over the years and watched that same thing happen, okay? And for people to get up here, there's supposed to be 7. Well, the mayor's got it down to 5, and 3 show up. Are those dedicated people? It's kind of like the ZBA years ago when you were lucky to get 4 out of 7.
Sir, that's time.
Like the questions
Thank you.
answered, possibly.
I will tell you that it was scheduled to be a 3.5 increase for the first year and 4.5% for the second year.
That's
Just
great.
so you know, sir, you can't.
Should have come from them.
Sir, you can't, it's not a Q&A, so we can answer that. I actually am going to ask Mr. Fisher, this is a required vote by council?
So actually, what the ordinance stipulates is that the only required vote is a denying vote. If council wishes to deny the commission's recommendation, then you are obligated to have a vote by a 2/3 majority to deny. Otherwise, it is passed without an approving vote being required.
So I guess that, maybe I wasn't clear. The motion on the table is a denying, so this is a required vote?
Correct.
So thank you. That's why I just want to make sure that we knew and understood that this is a required denial.
Yes.
Thank you. Evening.
Denise Micah from the great city of Livonia. I would like to have another item go to the Finance Committee or Department to look at not only the compensation, because we'll talk about fringe benefits, because compensation, you think it's just their salary or whatever, but the fringe benefits, the cars, how much people, we hear stories of gas cards, people just gassing up any time or whatever. And that is also important in the budget of the city also. So some of them are with the elected officials and some are with the appointed officials, which are, I think, to me, first cousin of the elected official. So anyway, I would request that that would be looked at too when the Finance Committee is looking at other things too. Thank you.
Anyone else from the audience? Just a quick FYI, that is looked at every year in the Finance and Budget Committee. It is already there. It's already looked at. All
Madam
right,
Chair?
anything else?
Can I
Yes,
ask
go ahead,
that-
Mrs. Shield.
Can I ask that go on the consent, the denying go on the consent agenda, please?
So we have a denying motion.
Can it has to be voted on?
It has to be voted on because it
Okay.
requires a
So it
supermajority.
It has to be on the
regular
regular,
vote.
yes.
Okay.
So we have a denying motion that will go on the regular December 17th. All right, thank you. Any other comments? All right, moving on to item number 2. This is a request to waive the formal bidding process and authorize renewal of an agreement with Hygro Health. This comes to us from the Division of Police to renew the agreement to continue providing law enforcement mental health co-response services to the residents of Livonia from budgeted funds. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Madam Chair. If I get out of my lane for just 1 minute, go Falcons. Great job, the JV. I coached them for many years.
He's been waiting 2 hours for that.
We were always successful against the Orioles and Blue Jays. I wanted those two particular
denying.
councilmen to see that. Thank you for letting me get out of my lane, Madam Chair. Thank you. This is an item for continuing our social worker program, which you're all very familiar with. You're a great part of the development of it and the success of it. It has been extremely successful, and we're merely coming back to you to ask that Agera continues to be our partner with this, extend the contract for 2 more years with Jonathan Reed, our clinician, who has done an incredible job. I'd like to get out there that he's done 2,212 referrals just in the last 2 years, 894 co-responses with our officers. And our use of force necessities has gone down over 80% in the last couple of years, which is everyone's goal, get the folks the help they need. So it's been a great program, and this merely extends the contract. Thanks to Ms. Zunigas at Agera, we're going to keep the prices the same for the next 2 years. So I'd welcome any questions.
Madam Chair.
I'm going to go to Councilmember Budzinski.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm gonna beat you to the punch, Laura, and offer this as an approving on consent. I've had the opportunity to come to the Citizens Academy and hear Jonathan do presentations and see him over the years even come before council. And I've only heard great things from his colleagues over at the LPD and about his commitment to the job and just how effective the program has been. So I think it's great for the city. I hear and hope that it's equally as great for the LPD as I've seen it to be so far. So thank you guys for continuing with this partnership. I'm glad that Hygera is interested in maintaining the rate. As we're talking about money, that's always a nice bonus win. So thank you, Chief, and yeah.
Anyone else from council? Councilmember Toy.
Just to the chief and your team, Chief, thank you very much for continuing this program and giving us this recommendation. This is just sorely needed in this day and age with the kinds of things our police officers face, let alone some of our residents that have different issues. About 3 doors down from me, I think I called you one night and said, there's a ton of police cars out in front. I hope they're not taking me away. But no, in all seriousness, it was somebody having some kinds of issues that were a little beyond a robbery or any of that kind of thing. So thank you, Chief, for you and your team. Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate that, Councilman Toy.
Yes.
And I must add, if you don't mind, Madam Chair, our officers love the clinician. It helps our officers solve problems. So yes, our department loves having him. And I should add too for the audience that no tax dollars are being used for this. This is through the opioid settlement, which is a great settlement for the municipalities in the country. So thank you.
That's great. Absolutely. Thank you. Anyone else from council? Anyone from the audience?
Cindy Fleming, the great city of Livonia, with a fabulous police department. And I'd just like to echo the sentiments from the community that this is such a valued program. We appreciate Hygera keeping their costs to the same price. This is a win, 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 win. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 3. Request for authorization to purchase 5 Power Pro 2 ambulance stretchers. This comes to us from Livonia Fire and Rescue to be placed in frontline vehicles and improve worker and patient safety. Comes to us from budgeted funds. get to see our other chief tonight.
Evening, Madam Chair,
Good evening.
Council. Yes, ma'am. The request is for City Council to approve the purchase of 5 Power Post Pro stretchers from Stryker Medical. These fit in our fleet. We've been using them for 15 years. They are integral with the system that loads the stretchers into the ambulances. The ones we're retiring are between 8 and 15 years old. They have a typical service life of about 7 years, and many of them have reached a point where Stryker says we will no longer cover any liability for these if anything goes wrong with them. So it's time to upgrade our fleet. The 5 that are currently in our frontline vehicles will go into our reserve ambulances. These brand new ones would go into daily use. So we're requesting that council waive the formal bidding process, as Stryker is the sole distributor for these, and authorize the purchase from budgeted funds.
Terrific. President McCullough.
Thank you. I'm going to offer an approve it on consent. And not only that is obviously it's a no-brainer, but the Stryker, listen, you know, in my day job I get to be a facilities manager, so I get to see these things. And honestly, the technology, especially going back to when we had the day where you put us to work, some of the technology is very imperative. It's life or death, honestly. So just by doing something like this, even though there's an expenditure, the risk that we're eliminating, especially for our staff and our first responders, is huge.
For the old timers that may be watching or remembering when we had to lift the patients with the stretchers from the ground into the ambulance and back and forth, if we save one back injury
100%
to a member, it could pay for these for decades.
100%.
So thank you.
All right, anyone else from council? Anyone from the audience? Seeing none, we will move on to item number 4. This is a request for authorization to waive the sealed bid process and purchase from sole source with Cooperative Purchasing Consortium contract. This also comes to us from the Livonia Fire Department for the purchase of 2 Zoll cardiac monitor defibrillators to replace outdated or decertified equipment, also from budgeted funds. Chief.
Hello again. So yes, we're requesting that you approve the purchase of 2 cardiac monitors from Zoll Medical. Again, they are a sole source provider of this equipment, plus they extend cooperative purchasing for the monitors. We'll be trading in 2 of our oldest monitors, which are no longer serviceable, like your newest iPhones. Over 10 years, the technology improves. The circuit boards go bad. We take care of them the best we can, but we have every vehicle in our fleet is licensed as an advanced life support ambulance, whether it's transporting or non-transporting, like our fire engines and ladder trucks. So this equipment is essential. So we're requesting that we waive the bid process and authorize the purchase from budgeted funds.
Thank you. Councilmember Budzinski.
Yeah, good to see you, Chief. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm hoping to make it easy and offer an approving on consent for this as well. Thank you.
All right, we have an approving on consent. Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? All right, seeing none.
Thank you
got
very much,
2
Ms.
items
Vice
on consent,
President.
Chief.
Have a good night.
Item number 5. This is a request for authorization to waive the sealed bid process and purchase from sole source provider from Departments of Park and Recreation for insecticide, fungicide, pesticide, herbicide, and fertilizer needed for the 2026 golf season to maintain Fox Creek, Whispering Willows, and Idlewild golf courses from budgeted funds. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Council. My name is Douglas Ware. I'm the golf course superintendent for the 3 city courses. This is just an ask to waive the sealed bid process for our fertilizer program. It's a company that we've used for quite a number of years. They're on the Omnia contract that the city's on as well. So we are very happy with their products, and we'd like to continue using them.
Thank you. Council. Councilmember Budzinski.
Well, since you've got the gavel and you're a pro golfer, for the benefit of all the golfers in Livonia, I'd like to offer an approving on consent.
Well, whatever they've been doing, the courses have been looking better than ever, so the last couple years, so I appreciate that.
I use the sled hill, so.
So you have an approving on consent. Anyone else from council? Anyone from the audience? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 6, this is award of bid, comes to us from the Public Works Division for water main repair clamps for the city's 2026 and 2027 calendar years from budgeted funds. Mr. Moore, welcome.
Evening, Council. Doug Moore with DPW. Council, this is water main repair clamps, and we've already started the season. So this was a 2-year bid. It was put out on Mitten on October 29th. The bids were opened on November 11th. We had 4 companies: Ferguson Waterworks, is our current supplier. They were the low bidder for the program. And this is a not to exceed $100,000 a year.
Thank you. Mr. McCullough.
I'll offer an approving on consent.
All right, you got your clamps on consent? Anyone else from council?
For Mr. Moore.
Anyone from the audience? All right. Let's go on to number 7, request to extend contract. This is also from the Department of Public Works for the 2026 Municipal Park Mowing Program, which involves approximately 136 acres of parks, cemetery, and fire station property from budgeted fund. Mr. Moore.
So our current contractor, Brantley Development, offered to hold their prices that they bid in 2020 for the current program, which is 2024 and 25. We would like to accept that. They've done a wonderful job for us. The cost is $87,276. They mow approximately 25 parks, but in that is also some right-of-ways that we consider a park just because, but like along 7 Mile, there's 3 or 4 spots that they mow. Most of the parks that they cut are not developed. Some of them have playground structures, no athletic fields. A lot of them are the subdivision areas where the city owns property that are not buildable. They were just donated by the developer.
Thank you. Mr. Donovic.
Thanks, Madam Vice President. Thanks, Mr. Moore, for being here this evening. I'll offer approving on consent. There's no objection from my colleagues. Again, the city's got some great contractors, vendors we work with, whether it be in, through engineering, DPW, whether it be through Parks and Rec, the list goes on. And Brantley's been doing a good job. So again, the city's very fortunate to have very good vendor partners. So I think it makes sense to continue the relationship with them. I know in years past, we're having some difficulties with grass cutting, and it seems like your department stabilized that. So great work to you and your team, and make sure they hear about that. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from council? Nope. Anyone from the audience? All right, you are good with that, Mr. Moore.
Good.
Going on to item number 8, request to approve contract with Aetna Supply Company, the sole source provider of census meters in Michigan. This comes to us from the Public Works Division for water meters and supplies in an amount not to exceed $1.5 million from budgeted funds. Mr. Moore.
So Aetna bid last year, and we're looking to extend their pricing for next year, 2026. Like you said, it's a $1.5 million project. We have not spent all those funds on meters, and the money that isn't spent just stays in the water fund.
Thank you. Council. Mrs. Shield, go ahead.
I'll offer a motion to approve on consent, please, if nobody objects.
All right, we have a motion to approve on consent. Anyone else from council? Anyone from the audience? All right, seeing none, let's go to item number 9, a request for authorization to purchase jack unit replacement through Houston Galveston Area Council. This is the HGAC by Cooperative Purchasing Consortium. Also from the Department of Public Works to replace front hoist number 9 leaking jack unit from budgeted funds. All right, explain that one, Mr. Moore.
Lastly, we have a hoist in fleet maintenance that no longer works. It's been redlined. It's not operational. And I found out that there's a purchasing program out there for vehicle hoists that we can take advantage of. Our purchasing manager and our fleet maintenance manager went out and found this. The cost to replace it is $31,646.75, and the company doing it is out of Madison, Indiana.
All right, thank you. Council.
Approving on consent.
We have an approving on consent from Councilmember Toy. All right. Anyone else from council? Anyone from the audience? I think you're all set, Mr. Moore. Thank you. All right, and let's go to item number 10. This is a request to amend the QBS engineering contract with OHM Advisors for construction engineering CE services for the 2025 traffic signal modernization projects. Comes to us from the engineering division at the intersections of Levan Road at 5 Mile Road along with Linden Avenue at Newburgh Road in the amount of $133,413 from budgeted funds. Mr. Zielinski.
Thank you, Madam President. Saving the best for last, as always, engineering. So just want to say we're very blessed to have this signal being put in at Levan and 5 Mile. As you know, there's been accidents over the last several years. It's like we actually planned it. Wayne County came through this year. They resurfaced Levan Road. Very blessed to have that done. There's a lot of areas where the ambulances travel along 5 Mile Road to that location of Trinity Health and other locations from the other communities. So we are happy to have Rawhorn Electric was the lowest bidder for this at $660,436.39, where we can fix two signals. This was the basically catalyst from OHM Advisors helping us figure out where we can use the highway safety improvement projects, which we put back in 2024 for these projects, in which Levan was a candidate, and also Linden. There was a death about 5 years ago. A lady was killed at that corner. A lot of the light posts have gotten hit, and we put it on the traffic signal was hit and put on the light pole. So hopefully the visual aid will help out at that location also. So looking for your approval for OHM to help with the CE portion of this in the amount of $133,413 from budgeted funds, and again make the improvements at Levan and 5 Mile, not only for our medical runs from different communities, but also help the improvements. DT has already located the overhead wires for this location, so I'm hoping to have it done by June of 2026. And also Linden at Newburgh Road, and just to let people know, there's other 5 additional traffic signals improvements coming in 2026 at Churchill High School, at Ann Arbor Trail and Newburgh Road, Hines, Plymouth, and 7 Mile. We are fortunate to partner with Wayne County on this one. They're actually going to help us reimburse part of that $133,000 for not only part of the design, but also for the CE of this. So looking forward to working with Mark Locke, who's the senior project engineer out in the audience. He's been with the company for over 30 years, and appreciate all their efforts to make this community safer, and again, improving everywhere we can. And again, these signals are not cheap. They're $330,000 a piece. So thank you for your help, and look forward to, again, making this city improved.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Yeah, this is great news. A lot of residents come to me about that intersection. I'm sure all of my colleagues can attest to the same. So I know this will be welcomed by the residents, and I'm sure assist with the hospital and surrounding businesses as well. So thank you for your hard work in getting this done, and I'd like to offer an approving on consent.
All right, so we have an approving on consent. Council, any comments on this? Audience? Good evening.
Good evening, Eileen McDonald, Livonia, Michigan. I just have a question. I thought that the Levan and 5 Mile was already approved. No? No? It was just discussed a lot?
6 in Levan.
6 in Levan was approved. But Mr. Zielinski, I'll defer to you.
These are high safety improvement projects that were given to us, that were awarded to us, in which there's 90% of the construction cost is paid by the state, 10% of the construction cost is paid by the city. In this case, it was Wayne County helping to participate, but we have to pay for the construction engineering portion and had to design them. But again, this is all in partnership with Wayne County, but these are high safety improvement projects where there's 90% construction cost paid by the state, 10% by the city itself. So.
And we've talked about construction of the roads, we've talked about the lights, so there's different parts of this along the way too. It's not like one big
I
kit.
thought the light was discussed before at 5 in Levan, so.
Madam Vice President.
It's for design. There was discussed for approval for design.
Oh, maybe.
So we were talking about, so it was the last one we had was 6, and we're talking the same thing, 6 in Levan, and it was the crosswalk. There was no crosswalk
Right,
lights.
I remember
That's
that,
the one that we had, there was an accident right there. This one's been trending, the 5 in Levan.
That
So,
was the bike accident.
yeah, so this is much needed.
Two separate things.
This will have the protected left that everyone needs, like
Yeah.
you see at 5 in Haggerty. They have finally have that protected left where the amber turns too quick. People try to make that turn, eastbound or westbound, whatever, and it's very difficult to make that turn. So this will help make that protected left at that location at 5 in Levan.
Thank you, Mr. Zielinski. All right, any other comments from the audience on this? All right, that concludes the study agenda. Is there any audience communication not on the agenda? Seeing none. Any close? I was going to say, any closing remarks from? We have a motion to adjourn. Support?
I will support
I
that.
think we're all good. Good
I can
night,
speak for the
Livonia.
millions of viewers. Let's go.
Yeah, nice.
Look at this, guys.
I saw that. Is it the new? Did they have like the pickle fries?